Remember, there's some pretty important information here in the disclaimer. You might want to give the video a quick pause and read it.
Oh, hey everybody, it's me, Sonic! Sonic the Hedgehog! Just here to remind you that if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. And for even more amazing customs, don't forget to subscribe to Wake Angel 2001! Because between you and me, they're way past cool!
Hello out there, it's Wake Angel 2001. It's still August and I got one more commission to throw out there. It is Rouge the Bat. This one is a commission. Yes, it is. And I forgot who it is. Prower Studios. Yes. The same person that got that Cream the Rabbit figure a little while ago. So, yes, it is Cream and Rouge for Prower Studios. And I really should reflect on the knowledge of making sure that my thing is open before doing anything. Okay, so I made so many Rouge figures. You know how it's done. Like, I'm not going to sit here and just walk you through the making of process for 1,000th time. And I'm also not just going to say, I made another one, okay, bye. So, let's actually vary this up a little bit. You know what I really haven't done too much? Like, an in-depth comparison of one of my custom Rouges in comparison to the official toy that has come out. So why don't we go ahead and do that? So the rest of this video is going to be a live feed of a comparison between my toy and the official toys. That should be a good variance for this channel, right? Okay, let's do that.
Alright, we're doing this. We're comparing my custom Rouge figure to the official one in like a full-on step-by-step thing. And I decided to throw Movie Rouge in here just for fun. Alright, so since we're looking at them from the front right now, we can take a quick comparison to the color schemes. Zooming in on that face, you see I got the color of the eyeshadow just about right, but like the color that I use for Rouge's eyes tends to be green because that's how she usually looks. Like, it's weird, like, I can look at different official sources for Rouge's eye color and get different results. Like, her eye color is not 100% consistent all the time. And in her toy, they actually went with more of a sky blue color for her eyes, almost matching her eyeshadow, actually. The pink that I use for her clothing elements does seem to be a bit lighter. I went for this lighter bubblegum pink color that kind of looks like Amy Rose's fur color, but it's a darker pink on the official figure. I mean, it's not quite to the level of the fuchsia that I used to make the Rouge the Bat movie version, although admittedly the fuchsia is closer to the shade of pink the official figure has than the bubblegum pink that I've been using up until now. Although I should note that looking at my camera screen, the difference between the colors doesn't seem as noticeable on the camera as it does to my naked eye. I'm not sure if that's my screen's display or the camera's limitation. Other than that, there is one thing. I always use like a metallic silver color for the soles of the boots. I feel like it captures the look a little bit better, especially with what she does in the video game with these things. You'd expect them to be a little bit heavier, while they just use like, I'm not even sure if they really use a gray paint. Like, it's more of an off-white than anything else. It's so light. It barely looks like the sole of a shoe. And color scheme wise, I guess that's it. I mean, if you look real closely, like, she has a little pink lipstick on her bottom lip, just like what I try to capture on mine. Yeah, though, like painting in lipstick on a flat muzzle is kind of difficult to do. Alright, so that's like the basic comparing colors. I think I got the skin tone pretty close. I use a slightly darker skin tone color for Rouge's skin, which goes with the like kind of orangey yellow skin tone that they go for her official figure. It's close, not just noticeable, but close enough that I don't think anyone will get pedantic about it. Besides, like, that mustard yellow color just kind of looks unnatural. I mean, it's supposed to be skin, right? I mean, if it was yellow fur, I would be more willing to accept it, but that's supposed to be skin, and when it has that much of a yellow tint, it almost looks like she has jaundice. Okay, so let's take a look at the wings. The wings are a point of contention I had for the official Rouge figure, because they look kind of weird. They have this partially folded up look going on about them. Like, not folded up enough that they look like they're completely folded up and idle, but they're not unfurled either. The movie Rouge figure has full-on unfurled wings, which kind of looks better. And they're not so big that they're obtrusive. I mean, I cut the wings a little bit smaller so they don't get in the way too much, but I do keep them unfurled. I just find this to be a more appealing shape, you know? So, like, I always found it weird that they went with this partially folded up look for her wings, which I can only guess was to conserve plastic, but, you know, I'm not really a big fan of the way her wings look on the official toy. Like, I wish that they looked more like these wings. Alright, so I guess that's all the comparison I'm going to be able to do with the movie Rouge, so let's get it out of the way so I can work easier with them. Alright, so if we were to compare sculpting, like I said, my Rouge figure, as much as possible, uses the official 3D models from the game, so you're not going to see too much of a difference in the way that their faces look. Except for, like, since mine is just the unedited video game model, like, it has some sharper points. The official toy has slightly rounded edges, so you don't have to worry about little kids stabbing themselves. But remember, these aren't toys for children, these are collectible items for people who can afford to pay a guy on the internet to customize a figure for them. The shape of the shoes is almost identical. Like I said, like, it is the official game model, so I think we both captured the shape of that pretty well. So this is where, and like, technically speaking, I think the bust line is kind of the same. Like, it's not like I gave my Rouge figure giant boobs or something, but it is more noticeable on my figure because the neck is a little bit longer. So, like, a longer neck makes her look a little bit more slender and graceful. Like, on my Rouge figure, like, I pulled her head up a little bit. It's funny, like, this figure, when you get it, her face is pretty much mashed into her own cleavage, but you can pull it up because that neck peg is actually surprisingly long. It's almost a ½ inch long, goes pretty deep into her head, so you can pull it up a little bit to give her a little bit more of a neck and make her look a little bit more graceful. But, yeah, like, if you take her fresh out of the packaging, then she's gonna look like she's shrugging, almost. But yeah, I think sculpt-wise, we aren't too different. The real difference comes in articulation. Now, this is where I can't take a lot of credit because I didn't engineer the figure. I only decorated it. But we can break things down let's see, like, first of all, the official Rouge figure has hinged wings. My wings are just kind of physically attached. So there's a point of articulation that I don't have. Of course, the official figure has a swivel head, while my head is ball jointed. Of course, again, I'm not taking credit for that because, like, that's just the base figure is ball jointed. But here's something that I do think that Jakks Pacific had the ability to do that I did. Is that with her arms, like, she has a universally jointed shoulder, exactly the same, but on mine, I made sure that the glove cuff is above the elbow joint, which allows for the arm to bend completely underneath it, whereas the official toy has the glove cuff under the joint. This actually limits how far it can bend. It can only go about this far. And the same thing is true for the knee. Since the glove cuff is there underneath the knee, that's as far as the thing is able to bend before it stops. Whereas on me, the whole knee is underneath the sculpt, so I get quite a bit more bend into it. Sorry about the jump cut. I got my phone blew up with a whole bunch of text messages at once and I had to address it. But yeah, this is what I'm trying to get at. Let me push this down. As you can see, the custom figures that I make are capable of much deeper bends in both the elbows and the knees because of where the joints are sculpted in relation to the cuffs on her gloves and boots. By trying to put the joints above those cuffs instead of underneath them, it really limits how posable the figure can be. So that's always been the biggest flaw of the official Jakks Pacific figure, especially when you compare it to the customs that I make using the Mega Construx figures. Also, the Mega Construx figures were able to incorporate a waist joint, which, you know, there's room for a waist joint on this figure. You could have put it in there somewhere. You would have, yes, just maybe if you, if you made the upper torso out of something soft enough, then you could have the swivel go underneath the heart plate, and then if the heart plate's made of soft enough material, it would flex over under her hips, so you could give her a waist joint. I mean, I just sculpted it so that the waist joint is completely underneath the heart, but, you know, if they really want to stay true to the in-game model, then, yeah, that still should have been possible. Also, because my custom figures are made of Mega Construx figures, the hips are ball jointed, so, you know, they have ball joint range, which means you get a full sit, you can go far. You can't get a full splits on a ball joint, at least not this kind of ball joint. In a way, like, the pin discs here, like, they probably do technically get a better range. I mean, you can do this with this Rouge figure, you can't do that with the ball jointed hip. Although, like, it is kind of weird how the pins, since they're going upwards, like, you can't naturally make her foot go out to the side. You gotta play around with the swivels to make it do things. I mean, it's doable, it's just not natural. Like, the way the pin went in on the Amy figure, where the pin disc was horizontal, that actually allowed for more natural movement of the hip. But yeah, that's a quick comparison of how the articulation is different between these two figures, and how a minor change in the engineering of the official toy could have actually significantly improved its posability, as you know, like, especially when you compare it to something that a smaller figure it does. I am kind of comparing apples to oranges here, but, like, it's not like that improved articulation came at the expense of her look. I mean, this is still, like, when you look at them side by side, my proportions are pretty sound. Like, my Rouge figure doesn't look like... It's not like I just stuck a Rouge head onto a female superhero figure, you know? Like, this... The proportions are sound and everything works more or less okay. And I really feel like what I did with my figure, Jakks Pacific could have done with their figure to improve the articulation just a little bit. And I just noticed that there's a little scratch on her hip. I am going to fix that before sending it out. But yes, that is ultimately an in-depth comparison between my custom Rouge figures made in the Jazzware scale and the official Rouge figure made in Jakks Pacific scale. And yes, of course, like, her holding thing hand is easier to get things into because it's made out of a more flexible material, where my 3D printed plastic will snap if you try to stretch those fingers any. So that is an inherent limitation. But you know what? That's because I'm just an amateur with a 3D printer, and this is a billion-dollar toy company. So, you know, there's that. Alright, so thanks for joining me on this journey and indulging me in this little comparison video. And this is Wake Angel 2001 signing off.